Happy Tuesday, FlossTube. Hello, crafty friends. How's everybody doing today? Welcome back. My name is Caroline. Today is video number 2 in a series of 6 videos that I'm doing here on the Evertote workshop channel that are all about some British designers who we here at Evertote have met and love. Some of them have been with us here in the shop for a while, and a couple of them are going to be new. So today we're going to be talking all about Chloe Wood, who is Girl with a Gavel Stitches. Chloe, Carrie of Roxy Floss Co, Carrie and I met Chloe a couple of years ago at Stitches in London retreat hosted by Marie of Stitches and Diamonds. That's the big London, UK, Stitches in London retreat back in October of 2022. And I remember vividly meeting Chloe for the first time because she was one of the most best dressed women I'd ever seen. I just loved her dress. Every day that she came to retreat, she wore a really unique dress every day that she came, and it turns out that she'd made these dresses herself, and the fabric that she used was just wonderful. It was just the one day it was Peter Pan, and it just suited her so well. It was charming, she was charming, and yeah, we got on like a house on fire. So we started chatting, and Chloe shared that she'd been doing some sampler reproductions, and she had some charts available on her website, and we just started talking, and she was interested in working together. So it was at least a year ago that we put one of her charts in the shop, and that design was Elizabeth Strickland 1836. This one right here. And I kitted this up ages ago, and it's never left my mind. And since today's the day that I'm sharing all about Chloe, today is the day I have my new start ready. I am starting number 24 of 50 for 50 sal for myself for this year. I have my fabric ready to go, and I've even got my flag needle minder. I'm ready to go. So this, I'm going to be stitching my version of Elizabeth Strickland on a 40 count biscuit, Roxy Floss Co biscuit fabric. And I still have, so my floss, just like my piece that I'm working on for Crow's Feet Stitching, which is the Flora McCullough sampler. I kitted this up ages ago. It's on old Roxy Floss Co floss tags. So it's about time, it's about high time that I put a few stitches on this beautiful sampler. So now you'll notice that I have a wide 1/8 of fabric. And so this is 40 count. And I'll only need about 14 inches length, and giving 3-inch borders for this on 40 count would be 14 by 14. It's not quite square, but that'll give a 3-inch border all the way around. But because I didn't want to use a wide quarter for 40 count, I'm going with a 2.5-inch border on my sides, and I'll have plenty of space up and down. So that way I can fit it on a wide 1/8. 36 count, you're looking at a 2-inch border if you went with a quarter, and if you wanted to stitch it on a 32 count or a 28 count, I would probably go ahead and get a wide quarter of fabric. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this sampler, but let's tell you a little bit more about Chloe herself first. Now, Chloe is a young woman, and a very impressive one actually. The name of her shop and her Instagram handle, which is at Girl with a Gavel Stitches. Chloe's an auctioneer. That's actually what she does. She is actually a girl with a gavel. I mean, isn't that cool? And if you do a little Google search, and she doesn't know that I did this. But if you do a little Google search with Chloe's name, Chloe Wood, you'll come up with an article that was done a number of years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, that interviewed a few female auctioneers, and you'll see Chloe's photo there as well. I think she was the second or third woman interviewed, and very impressive young woman. And clearly at the beginning of her sort of hopefully future career, doing some more designing, some more reproducing. She's got a great eye. She lives in the Cotswolds in the UK, which if you've ever visited the United Kingdom, it is one of the most beautiful areas. I mean, let's face it, England is a beautiful country, and really the Cotswolds actually have a title as UK's largest designated area, and area is capitalized, area of outstanding natural beauty. So you know that it's going to be a lovely place to live. So lucky Chloe, that is where she lives and designs and works. And yeah, so I messaged her a couple of days ago and I said, is there a photo that of yourself that I may share with everyone so that you can get to know her as well? And she sent me two. She sent me a proper photo, and then she sent me a silly one, and she said I could use whichever one I wanted. And I'm going to share both because I think that you get an idea of Chloe's personality a little bit more from the silly one, and she's just a lovely, lovely, lovely friend. So Chloe, I'm happy to know you. I'm happy to know you. So now let's tell you a little bit more about the background on Elizabeth Strickland. So first of all, a couple of chart notes. When we brought this into the shop last year, we did a print version of Chloe's PDF. So you may notice, and if you've purchased this in the past, you will have already noticed this. For some reason, the key for the floss colors, it didn't come out very well. It's a little bit blurry. It's a little bit hard to read. However, not to worry. A few pages later on page 3, those symbols and those the colors are very clearly labeled. And so because I'm using a Roxy Floss conversion, the easiest way that I know to deal with that, to make it easy for myself, is I just go ahead and I write the DMC number right on the floss tag that it's supposed to be the equivalent of, and then I also give myself the symbol as well. So I know the color and I know the symbol, and then Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, off you go to the stitching races. So this sampler, she's got a little bit of information on here, which I always love when designers include a little bit of historical detail on their samplers that they're reproducing. So she says that she bought this online from a collector who purchased it in Cardiff, Wales. The name Elizabeth Strickland is historically popular, so she hasn't been able to narrow the records down to one individual. As you can see from the front cover, the date is technically incomplete, but I am quite sure it should be 1836 and have charted the reproduction accordingly. So that's actually quite interesting. So if I show you the cover model, if I give you a close up here, you can see the date there, Elizabeth Strickland, 1803 blank. But if you look even closer, you can definitely see the faded outline of where the 6 was stitched, and the thread is missing. And then don't you wonder, I mean, it's kind of like what happened to the thread? Did she unpick it because she didn't finish it in 1836? I like to think that that would be something that I would do, and future relatives in my future will find pieces that have partial dates in them or no dates at all and wonder what the heck. But I think that's really quite charming, actually. So it's kind of a really interesting little detail on the sampler. She says it's dating from the reign of King William IV. The chart includes several crown motifs, as well as alphabets, flowers, and birds. My favorite motif is the beautiful parrot, which I have stitched separately and made into a scissor fob. So she has a picture on the inside here of the fob that she made, which I think is so sweet and such a good idea from these samplers to take little motifs from throughout and just turn them into something else, right? As this is a reproduction sampler, I've kept as true to the original as possible with some slight adjustments, most notably the addition of the number 6 at the end of the date and 1 or 2 motifs in slightly different positions. A few motifs have sadly worn away at the bottom left corner, so rather than invent what may have been there, I have not included them in the reproduced chart. So, and this, I always love it when the designer includes what sort of material and size the original was stitched on. The original appears to be stitched on 14 count fabric, and I have matched DMC colors as closely as I can. I've not listed any fabric choices, as any neutral brown will do, but of course please feel free to tweak the colors of fabric and threads however you wish. It is your samplers to stitch as you see fit. Enjoy. Which I also love. I love making it your own, right? It's your sampler, it's going to be living on your wall, and you're stitching a little piece of history. So yeah, it's really, really quite fun, actually. So Elizabeth Strickland. So this is next up today on my new start bucket list, and today is the day I get to finally put a few stitches in. The colors on this are so bright and happy that yeah, I'm excited, especially that peach. I can't wait to stitch a bit of that. That'll be fun. Okay, so now let me take you over to Chloe's website, because she's got a couple of freebie charts available there for you that are charming. So you're gonna wanna check them out. The first one, and I'll pop in some photos here, is KR 1863. And let's just see, I'm going to actually bring these up on my laptop while I'm showing them to you so that I can make sure I'm giving you the right information. So yeah, KR 1863, looks like she's got some historical information embedded in the chart there for you, so I will leave that for you to discover on your own. And then we have the little red sampler. Again, same thing, absolutely charming. It's a simple little alphabet. It would look lovely as a flat fold, as a needle book. You know, you could finish these into so many interesting smalls finishes. I just think it's just lovely. Can never go wrong with a small red chart. I'm gonna chat about, just briefly, I'm gonna share with you 3 of the charts that she has available in her Etsy shop that caught my eye, that I really, I quite like them. I think they're charming, and they're not ones that I've really seen before. So let me share them with you. First one is Kate Atkinson 1872, which is, this is so sweet. And I mean, brown and blue together are just, I mean, that shade of blue is lovely. I'm gonna have to see what we've got downstairs on the floss wall that's close to that blue. I'm not sure that we have any. Ooh, I might have to ask Carrie to put her die hat on and see what we can come up with. That's a lovely shade of blue, just beautiful. And then, okay, so that's Kate Atkinson. As you can see, it's not very big. I love the fading tonality of the alphabet there that it takes you through, and the small, simple motifs. Just really sweet, really simple. I always love when they include a tiny little heart. I don't know, I just think it's charming. Okay, so that's Kate Atkinson. The next one that caught my eye was the Twin Birds pin cushion. I mean, it's got birds on it and a beautiful border. You can't go wrong. So this is called the Twin Birds Blue Crowned Pigeon Reproduction Pin Cushion. And the other photo that you can see, and I will pop this in here, she has the original. She's got the original and her reproduction in the same photo, and I love seeing that juxtaposition between the two, how she's taken the original and, you know, made it into something equally beautiful. Just lovely. Again, great blues there as well. The third chart that caught my eye, again, I'm going with a red sampler because, I don't know, I just love monochromatic designs, black samplers, red samplers. anything geometric that's monochromatic, I'm always gonna love it. So Catherine Williams, 1852. And those, I know that, I know Jacob has a few samplers that have similar, the font with, you know, that you can see in the middle there, that big font where it looks like maybe you could do it with eyelets, but I'm looking at it, it just looks like cross stitch. And is it the Irish sampler that Jacob has? I think I'm gonna have to purchase this one from Chloe and find out the provenance of this one, because I'm curious to know whether that is, I don't know enough about, is it just a font that was used generally, or was it typical with Irish samplers? I don't know, but I am curious to find out. So a lovely, simple red sampler, and yeah, how can you go wrong? So those were the three that caught my eye, but she's got a couple of spot samplers in there, and just some really lovely things. She clearly has an eye for beautiful history. So as an auctioneer, you know, she probably sees some pretty wonderful treasures in her day-to-day work. So, okay, the last thing that I have to share with you about Chloe is something that I'm hoping that you can help me to encourage her to produce for us. So when I saw Chloe this time at Big Stitch, she mentioned to me that she had a couple of samplers in her collection, in her personal collection, that she was really interested in reproducing, and she was wondering if we may want to work together to hopefully, I'm hoping that she's still amenable to this, to kitting them up and charting and designing them with Roxy Floss Co. flosses and linens. And I'm really hoping that this will happen, because these two samplers are stunning, just stunning, stunningly beautiful. So I'm actually going to, I'm going to give away, because I want you to leave me a comment on this video so Chloe knows that you're just as excited about these as I am. So I'm going to give away a copy of Chloe's chart, the Elizabeth Strickland chart. And I'd like you to leave me a comment, and you're just going to leave me one of the two samplers that you would like to see first, because clearly this is a lot of work. This is a big job. These are not going to be released tomorrow, next week, even next month. These are big samplers, but boy howdy, they are beautiful. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you, and these are taken directly from Chloe's Instagram feed. You should follow her on @girlwithagavelstitches. She shared these after she purchased them. She shared them on Instagram, so I'm not sharing anything that's a secret. So the first one that I want to show you is Anne Wharton, 1828. How gorgeous is this? Everything about this is beautiful. The border is beautiful. There's birds on it. There's wonderful text. I mean, it's just a beautiful sampler. I love this one. The next one, are you ready to have your socks blown off? Because this next one, I can't even believe how lucky she got finding this in a shop, like just sitting there. It was like it was waiting for her. It is a beautiful Welsh sampler, and it was stitched by Margaret Jones in 1889. Check out that bird. Look at that bird. It is magnificent. The sampler is stunning. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like it. It's absolutely beautiful. So please leave me a comment. You're gonna either leave me a comment that says Margaret Jones, or you're gonna leave me a comment that says Anne Wharton, for whichever would be your pick of the two that we're hoping that Chloe will reproduce for us. So let me know, and then let's see. I'll give you a week, and then, well, let's give you a little bit longer than that. We'll see. But don't worry, I'll pull the winner soon, and I will leave a comment on your comment so you know who has won the chart. That might be easier than trying to figure out which video I'm going to announce the winner on. So Anne Wharton, and that's spelled W-H-A-R-T-O-N, or Margaret Jones. Either of those we would be so lucky, Chloe, to have. So Can't wait to see them. Can't wait to stitch them. Very exciting. So I hope that you enjoyed this little taste today of meeting my friend Chloe and seeing some of her designs, some of her reproduction samplers. She's got an eye, and I can't wait to see more from her. And she's just a great, great person. So thank you again. I hope that you've got some stitching. I hope that we'll see you again later this week. I've got a floss tube video coming up with Carrie in a couple of days. And on Friday, I'm going to be sharing designer Kelly Grundy of Cosford Rise Stitchery. That is next. And yeah, we're having a lot of fun here. So we'll see you again soon. Take care, everybody. Happy stitching. See you soon.